Sometimes, for the temporary pleasures of the world, we begin to compromise by living the life in the flesh. That means where we begin to live a worldly life for temporary pleasures. At times we forget the benefits that we would receive by that sacrifice, the long-term rewards that we would receive, and compromise it for the short-term pleasures. And that's exactly when you look into the Bible, when you look into the life of Esau. In Genesis chapter 25, we read from verse 29. It says, "Now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary." It says he was tired. Then he goes on further in verse 30, "And Esau said to Jacob, 'Please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary.' Therefore his name was called Edom." In verse 31 it says, "But Jacob said, 'Sell me your birthright as of this day.' And Esau said, 'Look, I am about to die, so what is this birthright to me?'" Now when you look into that statement, Esau is weary, he is hungry, his flesh is asking to be satisfied, and his interpretation of it is, "I'm about to die." He was not starving. He had not, scientifically man can live without food for 40 days. That's what I've read somewhere. Maximum 40 days. And here he is not eaten for a day, and he makes a statement, "I'm about to die." For that temporary hunger of his, for that temporary desire of his, he sells his birthright to Jacob. He sells what he was going to be receiving. You see, the birthright was something that would be transferred to him when his father would pass away. The things that belonged to his father would come into his hands, or the blessings of the father would come upon him. But he could not see it for that moment. He could not see it in his eyes, with his physical eyes. All he could see at that moment was his fleshly desires. And sometimes we are so caught up by our fleshly desires that we forget the long-term promises and benefits of God. And because of the temporary desires, because of our short-sightedness, because we just want to live for today. You must have definitely heard people say, "Let's live for today." Sometimes people say, "Who knows about tomorrow? Let's have fun today. Let's make merry. Let's enjoy now." Who knows about eternity? But because of the now, we lose the things that we are going to be receiving in the days to come. I want to tell you, don't be ruled by your flesh. Don't be ruled by your desires. We see Esau, just because of his hunger, just because he was weary, he was willing to sell his birthright, just for that temporary moment, for that fraction of second. It says, then if you read verse 34, it says, "And Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of lentils. Then he ate and drank, arose and went his way." Eat, drink, and then went his way. Some of us eat, drink, we get up in the morning and we continue doing our normal life. But how we have messed ourselves up, how we lose the rewards, how we lose the benefits of that little sacrifices that we do for a long-term gain, that's where we miss out. Today I want to tell you, just for the sake of your temporary benefits, temporary pleasures, just what your flesh asks, just for those fraction of seconds, just to feel a little thrills, don't lose what God wants to give you. Don't lose sight of what God has placed before you. Esau sold his birthright to Jacob just for stew, just for his stomach, just for sin. Sometimes we just give up eternity. Just for the pleasures of sin, we lose our rewards. Today I want to tell you, don't live for the flesh. Don't live to satisfy your flesh. Don't live to satisfy your tingling desires, your pleasures, but live as God desires you to live. And I tell you, you will begin to see your generations to come blessed. Not just you blessed, but your generations to come. God bless you.